what I was doing there was changing some of my notes and removing some things in them. Things that were no longer needed. Now I'm thinking about what I can do, what I should do. I think what I should do is actually finish mode, because I remember my latency is 232, which is great. I don't know what that's about. It's not that important in this game though.
Don't fail me, or else.
So for mode, I was thinking about adding 2 more options, but I don't exactly know what those 2 options are.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Knock 'em dead.
Okay, I still need to fix that. Yeah, stand position doesn't work perfectly yet.
You can't escape death.
I think the reason I haven't fixed it yet is because it's involved with something that is a bit further down the menu here. So it's involved with 7-9, which I'm gonna get to eventually, but now it's simply not going to happen. I don't think I even have collision done. Interesting. I do have collision in the variables. Well, I don't know if it's actually done though, or if that's simply from my previous menu. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm going to try to think about what's the reason I had 2 extra options in mode. What's that 4? 5. Put 5 for a reason. It'd normally be 3. I don't know what I thought about adding. I don't have anything saved for that. I guess I could check. I don't know. I guess I could check my menu options to see if I can think of something that I would have added.
You can't.
Again, I don't know. Like, I've already looked, so. At 350 milliseconds of ping. Really nice. Perfect ping. Wow, it's going back down to 250. Nice. A lot better. Check all of my options and see if maybe I wanted to put some of those other options in mode. I actually really don't know what it was. Seems I wanted to add something, but I didn't save it anywhere and I don't remember. I don't know. I'm gonna set it to 3 and maybe I'll remember eventually.
You can't escape death.
Okay. So it means mode basically done. How I have ability 2 set as the reset button, but it's also in here as a change menu, like a change menu part button. Obviously that doesn't work. I wanted to potentially make the reset also the titular use, so if it didn't have a titular use it would have a reset. Because usually things that need a titular use don't need a reset. I'm tempted to do that. In some way. think what I would like to do for a reset is make it in each action. In each rule that's made that needs the reset. I want to do it there. I would say that would be the most effective way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna make Titier use the reset. Going to be, yeah, it's gonna be reload. Edit. Nice. Okay, there. There we go. That should work. Let's try to make this work now. I'm going to do it on options would need a reset. Let's say any options with more than 2. Any options with more than 2. But there will be some exceptions, like header, text, and subheader. Like when you change that, that has Tether use, because you need to be able to click reload and that set it and that sync it for the colors. Sync with header, text, and subheader. That's the one that's going to be an exception. That's the first one I can think of. I would say Sparkle's color. I would say this could have a reset. That takes a resets. I have to remove it from a lot of different things too. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. There's not going to be a difference between them. It's only going to be Titier use. Means this all needs to be changed. It needs to be lowered by 1. 8 is now 7. 7 is now 6. 9 is now 8. I don't have anything in reset. So like, after all this is done, should be able to... Maybe it's in each player. It probably is in one-time actions. So after all this is done, I'm going to be able to delete it from there and hopefully delete it from the variables. Like I said, this is also very important because if I miss one, if I don't lower it by 1, it could mean I have problems in the future. Efficiency. I'm doing all this deleting because I know it's gonna work. Like, I've already thought about it. It makes sense. All I need to do is make it in the each role by probably changing this wait until, or maybe not changing the wait until, probably changing the activation of the menu option on variable. That'll basically make to where I can make the option on, and then it's probably going to be a skip if here. Potentially. I'll see what I can do about that. I could either do an if or a skip if. So I have to decide, I guess. I'll probably do like an if then else. Probably won't be that difficult. It'll probably be the most efficient way too. Funny how I put a reset in here, and every single one of these, even though they're not going to be able to be reset. I mean, it's okay, it makes sense for if I were to have it, but they wouldn't need a reset. They're not resettable. They're on off. Definitely do not need to reset and on off. The main reason I'm doing these resets is because I want to help people to get what they want, to get the option they want. If they want to go back to the start, they can easily do that. It's a very nice feature to have. A reset. It's very basic and simple to think about, but not so simple to implement. Should be it. Yeah, let's make that reset. I'm going to make it here first, which I need to put it in option on. Oh, look at that, I already implemented a reload, of course. Now it activates it. And for the ones that don't actually have a Tetsuya use already, oh yeah, it's already implemented because of Tetra use. It's already able to turn it on. So all I need to do, basically make it to where it does something here. It actually does something other than do nothing, basically. The Tetsuya use for this is going to be set. I didn't even think about that, but I could make it have a variable for each button. Press a button, primary fire it's 1, button, secondary fire it's 2, and then tertiary use is gonna be 3. Reload. Primary use, secondary use, tertiary use. 1, 2, and 3. I could do that. I could, but I don't know what's the real use of it. would be like, it wouldn't technically be. I mean, it might be better. It'd be a bit more safe about it, so that when you click the button to do what you want to do, it only does that unless you release that button. Now, I could see how it could be useful, but I don't want to do extra here. Not needed. I think there's a scenario where this makes sense. If I have an if then else, or if I have an if and then an else, it doesn't make sense because that'll basically enforce that it only uses one. But if I have a rule that is able to use both buttons in one activation, then I could see it being useful, because it ensures that the button you press the first time is the only one you're gonna get unless you stop holding that button and then you do the action again and then you press the other button. But I mean you press the other button and it makes the action happen again, but with the different set of actions. So I could definitely see it being useful for that. I mean, generally, I would say, yeah, it would make sense to be more safe about things, so I might simply do it. Because there's not going to be a time where you should be using more than one of the buttons. At the same time, of course. It would basically ensure that never happens, because I feel like there's a rule here that uses something like that. Is there not? Let me look. So this is how I do it. It's if button held is to reload, and then else. So this one works because it's an if. If it's reload, and it syncs with all of that. Else, if it's gonna be primary fire, secondary fire, it's gonna do the normal stuff. But instead, what I could do is put a variable there. Instead of it having to evaluate all of that. If it's on primary fire, if it's on secondary fire, it could simply have a variable that says it's 1, 2, or 3. Let's say that'd be a bit more consistent. Let's do it. Oh, look at that. Info text reset is available. Nice. Just wait. Is menu option on? Is that is that what it's called? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, that's the thing though, it doesn't change the fact of what's happening in the rule. This thing here does not change that. It does say that you can't, it's OR, so you can't activate with like 2 buttons. You only activate it with 1, so it activates. And then it waits until, so it doesn't activate anything else, because wait until it blocks that. Yeah. Turns it on, wait until it blocks any extra buttons being pressed on activating the rule, and it waits until every button is false, not held anymore, or the menu is false, and it sends menu option on as false, and then it waits. Okay, that should work. Oh, what can I do with that? Let's see. Also need to set it to 0 when it's done. I'll put that in here too. Should work. Check what I can do with that. I see, okay. Nothing for this. Can do something for this though. Okay, very interesting. trying to think, does it use? Okay. Let's see. I can just set it to color white, okay. Done. Perfect. That's literally the reset now. Wow. Crazy. So if well, I still need to add a skip if, actually. I do still need a skip if, because it needs to not do that other stuff when it's activated. Skip 2. I also need a... This is definitely getting a bit more complex. Like this. Well, actually, what I could do, instead of doing it like that, I just skip 1. There we go. Now, it's going to either do this one. Well, it's gonna do this one guaranteed, because it's an if then else, but if it's true, it's gonna set it to white. If it's not true, it's gonna set it to itself. So do nothing. And then if it's if it's on, so if it actually did go through with this and set it to white, it's gonna skip this one, skip this roll here, this action here, and then simply do this. And then it's gonna keep going. Very interesting. But yeah, 2 actions, and there it is. That's the reset for this. See how it works.
You can't escape death.
Works perfectly, look at that. That is so cool. Good stuff. What a reset, seriously, I really like it. What a reset. So 2 actions, and I can make a perfect reset. At least, currently. This is a perfect reset. I mean, seriously, I don't think you can get more efficient than that. Let's see if I can implement that into other rules. Okay, I need it on this. I 100% need it on, not this, I 100% need it on this. Let's put the reset in here. Basically what I'm going to need to do here is skip all this. I'm going to need to skip all of this and simply put, if that's true, I'm going to set increase decrease rate to 1. I might make increase decrease rate default at 5. It would be more versatile, I would say. Okay. Also, I realize now that I said I would need to delete something from one-time actions, the reset, and I didn't need to, so that's nice. Let's see. Increase decrease rate is 1. Set that to 5. Now it's defaulted at 5. I think I like that a bit more. Makes a bit of sense. Increase decrease. Increase decrease is still a variable. Are you serious? I haven't deleted that yet. I'm gonna have to delete that eventually. Okay. I would say yeah, that is true. Let me change that actually. What I'm gonna do is set this here instead. Now it's gonna skip if this equals 3. So let's skip all of this. Simply gonna go to this to reset, and then it's gonna set it. Perfect. Well, actually it is not perfect because, well, is it? Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Okay, so this one I need to set menu option 2 to it, not... I need to set menu option 2 to it. And then else, this needs to be set. Menu option 2. Okay, perfect. So that actually does work. All I need to do is skip this, so once it skips, menu option 2 is going to be set. If it's actually correct, like if it didn't skip and it does this stuff, it does menu option 2, and it's going to come here, ignore the reset, and go straight to menu option 2, and that's going to set increase decrease rate to menu option 2. But if it does skip, it's going to skip all of this, go straight to this, and then it's going to set it to 5, and then it's going to set increase decrease rate to menu option 2. Perfect. And that basically makes it a bit better, and also I think it wouldn't have worked before if I had simply kept it like that. Would have worked. I'm trying to think. My microphone keeps being stupid, but not getting my voice. I think if it would have worked. No, it wouldn't have. Because it says menu option 2. Changes menu option 2, and if it only changes increase decrease rate, it's simply gonna reverse the change here. It's not actually gonna change anything when you try to reset it. Okay. Perfect. Let me go check my other one and make the changes needed to make it a bit better. Didn't need to change much. Definitely something, I know that. I'm going to put this a bit lower. A bit too low. A bit higher. There. This only uses 1, so it's like gonna work either way. Skip if skips this if it's on resets, and then This basically keeps it the same if it's not skipped. But if it is, it sets it to color white and then sets it to sparkles color, or sets it to the menu option too, so it updates for the player. Perfect. Let's check if that works for the increase decrease.
You can't escape death.
Seems to work perfectly. It works absolutely perfectly.
You will always have enough ions in here.
Nice. Dude, this is so nice. This is so nice, seriously. Things are going so good here. Things are going so good. Let's keep going. I do want to set all of the actions that use a button like that to the correct thing, so that it's all as it should be and it doesn't make any errors. That is interesting though. I'm thinking about how that, like, the buttons affect other things. So basically how the menu option on works is if any one of the buttons are pressed, it's gonna save that button, and then it's gonna turn on the option, and until every single one of those buttons are turned off, it's gonna send the signal, well, it's gonna keep it, and so when it's finally off for all the buttons, so when all the buttons are not pressed, it's gonna send that signal to tell it to turn it off. But that doesn't work as good as it should, because that means only until all the buttons are turned off instead of a singular button. So what I'm probably going to do is make it separate so that it can perfectly adjust instead of only do when all of them are off. What I'm thinking about now. I think that's also one of the problems with my menu, is that when the button's pressed, it's not actually recognized. I guess it's not going to recognize it anyways because there's a 0.5 second wait time. But there is a restart when true, actually, so maybe it would technically get recognized better. Well, it won't make a difference because the restauranteur is gonna always do it. But still, it'd be better for the menu so that it doesn't need to constantly rely on all of the buttons instead of the one that you're actually using. To click this like 90,000 times. Okay. This is still gonna be true. This is still going to be true. What I could do for this is instead of it being a button, it could be a variable. So if the thing is greater than 1, if it's greater than no, if it's greater than 0, so if like it's not 0, I guess I could also do it. If it's not 0, then it activates. I might have to do a list. A list of all the different buttons. So instead of and of all the buttons, it does only that one. Because I don't know how else I'm gonna know. I don't know how else it's gonna work. I could do an if then else on the wait until. Instead of doing and. If that could work. Okay, I think that could work. Alright. Now what should happen is when the menu is on and also when the button, when either one of these buttons are held, let's say to send a signal here. Let's say menu option on is true, and then the button, whichever button is held first, and it's gonna wait until, and it's gonna check which button is held, and basically make that the condition. So if the primary fire is held, it's gonna make primary fire. If the secondary fire is held, it should make it secondary fire, and if the reload is held, then it's gonna make it reload. Or the menu is false. Or the menu is off, basically. So if it turns off, the menu is off, then it's gonna set this to 0. And it's gonna set it to off. The menu option on to false. And it's gonna do a wait timer. See if that works.
You can't escape death.
Very simple way to know. Okay. Does not work. Wait. What was that? Oh, it's like trying to work. But it like keeps turning itself off. Thing. So yeah, doesn't work. I don't know if it doesn't work, but it definitely is not working how it's supposed to. It's basically using that or saying the menu is false or this is true. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, this doesn't make sense because this is supposed to be a false compare. Okay, let's forget about that test. That was not a test, okay? That was simply like a check. Not a test, it was a check. Yeah, it all needs to be false. It all needs to compare if it's false, not if it's true, like it was doing. Which, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You can't escape death.
Okay, now it's working. And now it's actually showing that it actually works perfectly. So as soon as I release the button, it does it. Not important what button I started as. It always does it. Ooh, got it on 2. Exactly. That's crazy. Well, it's probably not exact, because if it was exact, it would say 2 without any zeros. But yeah, it was basically exact. As exact as you're probably gonna get with this. If I reset it to 5, see it doesn't have any zeros. Yeah, that's what it would say. That's what it would say. Very interesting in that way. Oh, I'm lagging a lot. 200 milliseconds of ping makes this very slow. Look at that, I did it again. Wow. Let's reset that to 5. Good stuff. I'm glad I fixed that little issue. It's a very minor issue, but it's fixed now. It is interesting to think about. If you try to use if you try to use tertiary use on I think if you try to use tertiary use on like mode, it'll still switch.
You can't escape.
Yep, still switches. Interesting. Because it actually doesn't hurt anything, because like it only really gives the player more options to be able to do whatever they want, really. Like I say primary fire at the top, but you don't need to use primary fire. That's simply the main one. Very interesting stuff. Okay, let's keep going with the resets. Let's keep making these resets perfect. I'm gonna have to do a lot of resets. Like if I think about it, it's a lot of resets. That's okay though. It won't be too bad. It'll be worth it in the end. Header text subheader. Header text subheader. I think I can make a reset actually for header text subheader, but it's like, why would you want to reset this? It doesn't really do anything for you to reset it. It's only like an option. It doesn't actually do anything to reset it. It's only a selection of options. That's all it is. It's a better term for it. It really doesn't do much to have a reset for it. Yeah, this... Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna need a reset though, 100%. I'd implement that. What does this use? Okay, this uses a select, so that means it uses numbers and not colors. Wait, why? I see. Because it needs it for knowing which one is in the list of colors to set it on a custom color. Okay, I'll keep it. I will absolutely keep that. Also, this reset, I accidentally tapped my microphone there, but this reset is going to need to reset the colors. Custom colors. Header color select. Yes, okay. Actually, this all can be can be reused. Yeah, it's all can be reused. I don't really need to do anything except change header color select. Good. Header color select starts with white. So yeah, it's gonna need to be 0. But for the other one, for green, for the subheader, I'm going to need to make it 2 as the starting. For the reset. Worked perfectly. Why is this one chase 2? Oh, it's because it needs... Okay, yeah, no. It's because it needs 2 to show it live, to show the color changing live. I need to skip a lot here. Probably like 5. This is, yeah, this is red. This is color stuff, so it's gonna be default 255. Or, huh. That is interesting, now that I think about it. What if I have the reset There. Now it's going to reset to the color of what it's set at. So if it's set to red but it's changed, then the player can reset it back. It was at default when it was set to red. Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, this is red. This is for red, so it's not even important if it's set to red on the color. If it's set to red, green, yellow, it's not important because this is for red. So it's going to set that specific one for that specific one. Color's red. Well, no, it's not color's red. Color's red is the global variable for all the red colors. And it's going to set the menu option 2 to it, which also I need to be able to set the other one too, which is probably header color red, so I'm probably gonna do both of those here. Very nice. See how many skip ifs I'm gonna need, and where am I even gonna put this? I'll put it at the end. Yeah. Wait a minute. Why is this not having a board if? Oh, it does. It's simply lower. Why is it lower? Why is it lower? What? Is that a mistake? Done for all of them. Why though? That's interesting. Oh, I see. It's because it has to. It has to stop it. Wait, that doesn't even make sense though. I'm going to stop it if it started. Yeah, it's going to stop it if it started. Menu option 1 is false, or menu selection change 1 is true. And then it stops it. I actually don't understand. I could easily delete it or simply turn it off. I'm gonna simply do that. Turn it off. See what it does. If it hurts anything. Oh, that's correct. It's 5. Nice. So if it's 3, if it's reload, it skips 5, goes all the way down here, and does this. Simply resets it to what the color selected is. Or header. should be correct. Header color, let me check that quickly. Yep. Select. Okay, good. Yep, that works. So let's go ahead and test this. I'm gonna do one more and then I'll test it. Would need the exact same stuff. So for this time it's gonna be green. They really need to implement a better way to do this. I'm really tired of having to scroll up like this every time. Wish the menu would simply follow you down. Like it's really not that complicated to think about. Maybe it's complicated to implement, but they should be able to do it. I mean, come on, it's a big team over there at Blizzard. Yeah, there. That's another one done. Oh, wait. Colors are red. No, it can't be. It's not colors red, it's colors green. Also colors green here. Okay, let's turn this one off too and let's see how it affects it. I'm gonna have to check. I'm going to have to check the rules. The inspector, I mean. And see if it actually has any effect. I've changed these. These are the only ones I've changed. When you're increasing and decreasing it, you can't actually even change the menu option. Can't even change it. It's like I don't know what the reason is for this. For that needing to be there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Let me check it. Two, so this is decrease. It didn't abort F, and it's doing the chase. So, yeah, since that one's gone, it doesn't do anything before. And it goes through. Let me check where header color green is. There it is. Okay, so this is where it stopped. It stopped at there. 250.12. And stopped it. Stop chasing. Menu option 2 and header color green. And it sets it to itself. It waits, abort when false. I wonder if I should make it to where it's there isn't a loop. Or if you're holding it down, because there's already a wait timer on the option on. I guess the reason to have that is for like color. If you want to go through it as fast as possible, you can hold it down and it's going to cycle through it. Instead of needing to keep clicking it. Waiting. And is this increase, decrease? Oh wait, is this? Is this this is for changing the option? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Confused. I'm on green. Back on red. Well, I was on green before, now I'm on red. I see. I didn't change red at all. Are you sure about that one? Oh, I already did change it. Okay, I missed it. That's all. Literally doesn't do anything. Okay, got it. Got it. That's getting removed. And percent. I don't know what's the reason I even had it there, really. I don't remember. Do not remember. Okay, let me think about something quickly. Let me think if I need those. Do I need to keep these loops? I understand it when it comes to Sparkle's color. You don't want to have to keep clicking the button. You want to hold it down and just have it cycle through. But for this, you do need the loop in a way. You actually, yeah, you need the loop to make it to where you can turn it off at all. It's a bit difficult to know how I'm supposed to continue if that's true. Could probably put menu option on equals false here. It's a big change though. It is a big change. But it would fix something here. It would fix the problem of being able to loop when it doesn't need to loop. I was thinking about this, but this is all perfect, so I'm not gonna change that. Not gonna change anything there. And for having this thing not loop, I maybe could do that, because the loop is really there only for it to come back around and then wait. All it's there for. On this one, it's not really there for you to hold it down and have it keep cycling through chill and kill. It was interesting. I wonder if I could make it to where it's on the whole time. Like if it's not on the whole time, I mean the condition is if it's false, if the menu option on, I think it's called, yeah, menu option on is false, then it does this. Of course it has to be false to change an option. So yeah, it goes down here and it does this and it waits until it's true. And it does that. And then this is simply not here. That would basically work for that, and for the ones that need sparkles, like it's like sparkles, if it needs a loop, this can stay. But I would simply make it to where loop if the button or the variable is still true. Let's say that works. And so that means I put a new option on equals false here. That means, so if it doesn't loop, if it doesn't go back automatically, it's gonna go back anyways when it's false. So it's always gonna loop, basically, if it's on the same option. I don't know if that's gonna work. Like, I actually really don't know if that's gonna work, but I think it will. I hope. I mean, I could try it. Let's give it a try. Try. Let's turn off these things here. Give it a try. The mode and sparkles are going to be both the ones to test with.
You can't escape death.
Okay. Oh? I think it's actually working.
5, 4, 3.
I think it's actually working.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Okay, where am I at? 304. Okay, it should have looped.
To embarrass yourselves.
I need to check all of this. So it did loop, and it's on the abort if. And it does all of it. Does the set status, clear status, end, destroy effect, set it all to normal. And then it says it's off. It waits. It goes back to mode chill kill, and it actually does it. See, look at that. It restarts it, skip if, and it skips it, and then it waits until. Bam. Ooh, that's clean. Let's go. Let's go. Wow. I like it. It's complicated to think about, but it makes sense. It does absolutely make sense. So now, let's test it. It should work on, well actually I haven't even tried it on sparkles yet, but for mode it absolutely works. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't loop on mode chill kill. Sparkles seems to be working.
5, 4,
Yellow, let's go to chill.
1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Yellow, green, purple. Green, purple.
Make them scream.
Okay, it isn't looping for this though, which is interesting. Let me check that. Yeah, it's not looping for that. For some reason. For some reason, it's not looping. Oh, because it's abort when false. Yeah, it's abort when false, so if it's true, that means it's false. I think that's how that works. Yeah, if it equals false, that means it's true for the condition, so it aborts it when it's not true. So yeah, I need to change that. Change that. Ignore condition. It's gonna have to be an ignore condition now. I think so. I have to be an ignore condition. So now that the loop is gone from chill kill, I think it's actually gonna be spammable.
You can't escape.
Yep, it is spammable. Nah, I'm gonna have to change that. Going to have to change that. Yeah, this is gonna have to be a, what is it? Have to be an ignore condition. I think I did restart when true. Because of how it was, so I guess that meant, now that I'm thinking about it, if I were to like click it quickly, it would turn it off and on quickly.
5,
Yeah, that's true. It actually did. I didn't
1.
realize.
Capture the objective.
But now it actually doesn't do anything. No, it actually works how it's supposed to work. Well, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know. So before, when I had it like that, it actually did it. It set the menu option on to on and off very quickly when you were spamming it, but it didn't actually activate, so it wasn't visible. That's not good. Come on now. Come on now. I'm liking it though. I am liking it, except for the not looping thing. That's of course bad, but I've already fixed that with the ignore condition. Let's try it again. Go again.
death.
Perfect. Why is... What? Why is secondary fire not working as good as primary fire? Check that. I was thinking it was because of delay, but after so many times of clicking it, not delay anymore. Especially when this one's like perfect. So weird. What is happening? I actually don't know what's happening here. looping there perfectly. But now when I try to click that, it doesn't work. Oh, is it not? Probably what it is. Probably not looping as good as it should. Probably not actually resetting itself. Because it did this, but it also checked this. Conditions became true, but not executing actions due to wait behavior. Oh, okay, so the wait is actually hurting it in a way. Huh, interesting. Yeah, because it ignores the condition. So it ignores the condition so it doesn't restart. Okay, well, I think that's an easy fix. Instead of ignoring the condition, it's going to be restarting with true. Yeah, it's going to be restarting when true. So when this turns on, goes down, and it restarts when it's false. Restarts when it's false, and if the option is changed, whatever, it aborts. Okay, that's interesting. So that means I don't need to loop if. Or do I? Well, I guess I do still need to loop if, because then it doesn't have a loop if it's on the whole time. Okay, let's do that. Now it should work correctly. Instead of not looping.
You can't escape death.
Still delayed by 300 milliseconds, but it's actually working now. It's working now. When it becomes false in the wait timer, it's gonna restart the conditions. It's gonna restart it. Start from the top. It's gonna go through. Get to the one that controls when it's turned on, which is the wait until. And then when it's turned on, it's gonna go through. But if it switches, it's gonna stop. It's gonna abort. And then of course for the loop needs to be there because if it's always on, it needs to go through. Exactly how it is doing. Okay, oh, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So this one doesn't need a loop, so it's simply gonna have that. And these two are gonna be gone. See if that works.
You can't escape death.
Yes. Interesting how you have to wait. Like, even though you waited for it to, like, more than 0.5 seconds after it turned on, or it changed in any way, you have to wait more because that's not how it works. You have to wait until you release the button. Wait 0.5 seconds after you release the button, or it's going to be too early. And then of course it'll go instantly after that. So yeah, that works perfectly. Good stuff. So I would say, yeah, that's definitely an improvement. It is 100% an improvement. I don't like not having that as a fact. It's a fact. That's an improvement. It's absolutely an improvement. Let's keep going. I'm gonna apply that to everything. So this one is on off. It does not need a loop, so I'm gonna delete that. This one is increase decrease. Also does not need a loop because it's only two. Only two. So it's gonna be turned off. It's gonna be removed for the loop. At least I think so. Why would it need a loop? I don't even know. It's not getting a loop. This? A loop? This need a loop? No, it does not need a loop. This header color needs a loop. Yeah, this needs a loop. So that means I'm simply gonna say restart when true. Loop if this is on. Okay, there it is. Does not need a loop. Also does not need a loop. All these don't need a loop. All of these don't need a loop. These are all the same, basically. Let me go ahead and check if everything works. I don't want to make too many changes without being sure.
You can't escape death.
Okay, perfect. Did I not? Wait. Wait, what's happening here? That one shouldn't need a loop. But it's having some trouble. And I'm gonna need to check the inspector for that. That's an interesting one. I don't really understand it.
You can't escape death.
But I think it's not actually resetting again. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's not resetting again. Now it goes through. think I know it. I think I know what it is. Because of the wait until. Yeah, the wait until. I think the wait until makes it not work. Just wait until here. Yeah. This is the problem. Most likely. Waits until it's false. That's the problem here. It waits until it's false. And that basically ignores the condition reactivation. That basically needs me to reactivate the button for it to reactivate this rule. Okay, I think I know a fix. Let's try it. Okay, so that means that it's going to activate first. So it's going to go down, and then it's going to activate after. So it's going to activate this first, and then it's going to go down, should get off the wait until, and then it should activate this. Let's see if that works.
You can't escape death.
Nope, it didn't work. At least I think it didn't. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay, well, that's interesting. It's simply too fast. Yeah, it's too fast. Or it's too, it doesn't go in the correct order, I guess. Probably goes in the wrong order. Maybe I could switch it around then. If I can switch it around and make it work. Let that go first, and then let the other thing go after. Let's see if that works. Actually, that won't work. Actually, I don't know what I'm thinking about that. That does not work. It won't. It's gonna be waiting. It's gonna be waiting until, so it can't work like that. So what I could probably do is simply put a wait timer here, but I don't like wait timers, so it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. But I feel like if I put a wait timer here, it would work perfectly. Let's see. Let's see.
You can't escape death.
Yeah, it's working. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a wait timer. I don't want to do a wait timer. I don't like wait timers. The wait timer works, but it's like you have a delay in everything you do now by a very small amount of delay. Well, it's a bit considering how fast it was before. I don't really like that. I didn't even think about that, but what if I made it to where it doesn't actually reset until there's a switch that turns on and say it's reset? Say it's done, like, waiting. That's interesting. Instead of doing a wait timer, what if I basically where there's a variable that's, well, let's say E. Let's set it to true. Yeah, let's set it to true, so by default it's gonna be false. Yeah, that's something. So now when E is true, it's allowing it to go through. Allowing it to restart, basically. So these two are for when it's on the option, and this is for when it's changing the option. That's what it seems, so I'm probably still going to need selection changing variables. That should fix it though. That should basically make it to where when this is true, it restarts. Then why is this one needed? Guess I could remove this one actually. Now that that's not even needed anymore, let's test it.
You can't escape death.
Okay, by default it's not on, so I'm gonna have to set it to on, the true. I think it's okay if I can remove menu on from it, then I mean, it's like a perfect trade. Basically the same thing, except a bit different. Yeah, of course, it's a bit different. Not too bad though. Yeah, there we go.
Can't escape.
That's the thing about this though, I don't want it to be too complicated. Like I keep saying, it needs to actually make sense. That works perfectly. That works perfectly, so I can do that. Bit interesting though. Like I said, I don't want to do too much here. I really don't. I don't want it to be over-engineered. I really don't. Make E. Let's call it. Okay. So that means all I need is that specific variable for it, and everything should be working as normal. So let's see here. Am I simply gonna be replacing the option on with that? I think so. I think I have to. It's like, if I don't, it's gonna be inefficient. It's going to be inefficient. Good. Didn't do any more than that. Still need to test it, be sure. It makes sense. It does make sense. I don't think, literally, I don't think I need it here anymore. Option on, I don't think I need option on. All I need is to reset. Perfect. Let's try it. Should work the exact same. Except be actually correct.
Can't escape. Dead weight gets left behind.
Yep, it works. Perfect.
The end draws near.
Yes, I keep forgetting. It's when you release it. It's not when you wait.
Or else.
When you release.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So this is the fastest you can do it here.
Defend objective A.
Nice. It's working perfectly. It should keep going. Yep, it does. Good. Also, okay, it's because I didn't wait long enough. Yep, it's working perfectly. Stuff. The fastest it can go. Nice. Very nice. Sparkle's visibility. Perfect. The other ones too. Oh, that's nice. That is so nice. Nice laggy. So all of these that I changed don't have loops anymore. That means you hold it down and activate it, it'll go, but only until you release, and if you click it again before it's done with the cooldown of 0.5 seconds, it's not going to do anything. So that basically makes it a bit less usable in a way, because you want it to do something when you're holding the button down. But it also makes it to where it makes sense in a way, because you don't want it to always loop every time. And it's only two options, like you only have increase and decrease, so that's the reason I chose to not loop it. I could loop it if I really wanted to though. I could loop it. Could loop it. would need to do to loop it. Exactly what I did for Sparkles. Still considering it. Start when true. Which might not even be needed anymore. Still need a wait though. If I don't have a wait, it's gonna be going so much. It's gonna be doing it infinitely. So I still need a wait. Restart when true. So that's interesting. Might do an ignore condition here. Maybe an abort when false. Go back to an abort when false. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to an abort when false. Not false anymore, it's only gonna be true. Will it be? Okay. Okay, so I can go back to an ignore condition then. Yeah. Go back to an ignore condition. When loop if menu option on. But it's going to ignore this. Reset. It is interesting. It should be okay. I'm gonna try it though. Let's try it. Ignore condition.
You can't escape death.
Yeah, it seems to be working. Interesting. Yeah, it seems to work. I think though if it's actually okay for it to restart. Okay for it to restart. Start when true. interesting to think about, but I think it's okay. It's so difficult to know though. So it seems to be, it's okay currently because whenever you hold the button down, it goes through all of this here, and then it starts the wait timer. So it being an ignore condition isn't important because if you release the button, this wait timer is going to be lower than the wait timer on the rule that controls the menu option on, or the reset. So that's the reason it works. But I don't know if I'm okay with that. I don't know if that's the best option, or if that's perfect the way I need it to be. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna put it to restart when true. So when it's on, it's gonna go through and it's gonna say loop if menu option on. It's gonna loop. But when it's off, when menu option on is off, it goes through and it waits, and it's basically gonna restart when it's true, when this is true. It's a bit weird how it works because the wait timers are the same, so it's like gonna restart anyways. So Yeah, that's the reason it was a bit confusing. Gonna restart anyways. That is true though, so it's like it goes through when it's, even if it's off, this one's gonna happen first, and then this is not gonna restart because this is not true. It only gets true after 0.5 seconds. That's a weird problem. It really is. I would say probably ignore condition is going to be the best option though. I mean, I could keep it restart when true to be safe, I guess, but still, it's not going to be using it. That's what I don't like. I don't like that it wouldn't be using it. Maybe I simply don't need that. But I do, though. I do need it. I do need the weight. I didn't need the weight. That's the thing, though. Menu option on, there's always... It doesn't turn menu option on and off. It simply keeps it on if you're holding the button down. And it turns it off when you release it. Okay, I need the wait here. I need the loop if. So what I'm gonna do is simply probably do. I'm probably gonna keep it as restart when true, to be safe. Like I said, if I don't do that, it's simply not going to work. Thinking if I could use some type of system here to make it work, but yeah, it needs to be restart when true and wait, and there needs to be a wait timer there. If there isn't, then yeah, it would simply not work. Trying to think though. Would having the loop be in the option on be better than this? I mean, it would fix it in a few ways. It would wait for the reset, and then it would reset, and then it would go again. It would do that. Keep doing that. But it's definitely difficult. I would say it does make some sense, but like, I don't, I mean, could I really do that? I mean, I could, but it's like, I don't know if it's the best option. I might have to do this tomorrow. It's getting a bit late. Definitely thinking about changing something here. Recently want to. Thinking about how might have different wait timers for different options in the menu. Like, for example, teleport. I don't think that's gonna have a wait timer on it. But then, like, how do I even do that? Because everything has a wait timer. And never mind, everything doesn't have a wait timer, so if I were to hold it down, I could basically make it have less of a wait timer by simply making it go until you release. It's go faster until you release. I mean, and then if you release the button, of course, it would be the 0.5 seconds wait time. And of course, to make it to where it's instantly as you click it, and if you spam it, of course, you get there faster. To do that, and that would mean I would have to put it in the rules specifically instead of in a general rule. I think that's what I'm gonna do, though. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to change some things, though. I'm going to have to change some things. Yep. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, though. I'm done. Been working way too much already. I'm also gonna put this in test 3, I think, because there's a lot of changes today. There's a lot of changes.